On October 15, 2021, the National Indo-American Museum opened its doors at the Umang and Paragi Patel Center, the first public space in the United States devoted to the totality of the Indian American experience.
There is a long history of Indian Americans in this country that goes back a couple of centuries that people are not aware of. NIAM was founded on the idea that we must capture our history even as we are living it.
The museum's inaugural exhibition, Emerge, Art of the Indian Diaspora, curated by Shaurya Kumar, showcases contemporary and cutting-edge art from 9 renowned Indian American artists working in a wide range of media.
The preconception of being a diaspora is that you have a very strong urge or a want to move back to your home country. All the 9 artists in the exhibition, they are not burdened by the need to represent their Indian Americanness. I think that's very much part of their identities, they are part of their culture. They are very interested in what the diaspora means now in the 21st century. From an artist's perspective, an artist thinks themselves a lot through a global lens. The work that you see is a work by Avantika Bawa, who currently lives in Portland, Oregon. It's a work which immediately lays down the kind of expectations that one should have walking into this museum, looking at the exhibition. A circle or a dot has a great significance in Indian culture, right? So for example, zero was invented in India. The dot or the bindi is also very culturally important. I thought that this idea of painting dots would be a way for the audience to start thinking about what are the ways in which an artist functions, what are the things that they think about. Behind me is an artist based out of Detroit, Neha Pathak. She's working a lot with very delicate paper. Neha developed this process that she calls plucking, in which she's using a thumbtack or a pin and making the paper even more porous by removing the fibers one at a time. The porosity of the works reminds me of the dermatological layer of the skin, which in a way directly echoes with the conversations of preconceived ideas of identity. Right as you enter the main entrance is works by Shrestha Rit Premnath or Rit. It's a space which cannot be ever viewed in totality. This particular work is an extension of a larger body of work called kettling. Kettling refers to a practice by police to corral protesters, and he's using the contrasting material of this heavy steel fence with these very delicate materials of foam. It's intended for areas of the plaster to crack. The skin wrinkles, it flakes off, it bleeds, it burns. You can see the body being scarred. Here we have works by Kushla Vora, who comes originally from Panchgani in Maharashtra. Panchgani used to be a summer resort for the British. These ceramic objects are referencing the systems of education or knowledge. Actual pieces of notepads and objects are dipped into a porcelain slip and then fired. The physical paper, the binding of the notepad, all burns away, leaving this very hollow residue of a porcelain. This is an installation by an artist, Sarika Gulatia, who lives in Pittsburgh, and it's a space that is supposed to be a safe space, a comfortable space, but it immediately leaves you with a discomfort. The work started first when her father had Lou Gehrig's disease, and Sarika saw her father's body sort of withering away. So the work started with just materializing what a body goes through. It's a process which happens in a human life. We have new experiences and new ideas and new memories constantly created, but then also things that we forget. This is an installation by an incredible artist who's originally from Varanasi called Nandita Raman. It's a space that needed an audience to interact on a very close scale. The entire exhibit is basically talking about what is the body itself. So whether it's how bodies have been represented historically, the creation of body in art, the creation of body in religion, the creation of body in a relationship. So not only the installation is about the body, but it engages your body in a very direct fashion as well, almost to the point where your body is as acknowledged as the body of the artist herself. Then this is an installation by an artist called Kaveri Raina, who moved from Delhi at the age of about 11. Rather than on canvas, she's painting on jute and a surface which is not primed. She's painting both in back and the front side of the painting. It's an artist having a conversation with the material as the work is being created. It echoes with the craft traditions of Orissa or from tribal paintings of Jharkhand, or the shadow puppetry that comes out of Andhra and Kerala as well. But at the same time, she is not bound by those traditions. Kuldeep is a painter, a drawer, and also a performing artist. Kuldeep was trained in classical Odissi in Delhi. Ideas of capturing the movement continues in his practice of painting. The paints are very thin and often very fluid. So in a very interesting way, it echoes with his dance practice. In the lower gallery of the museum, there are two projections. The one behind me is by Surbhi Saraf. One thing that COVID did was that it turned the lens into everybody's home. Through all the meetings that would happen virtually through Zoom, people's life became very transparent. And it became a society where there was no boundary between the personal and the professional life. The work itself, you can see the artist sitting on a couch and doing probably the most hated act in one's household, to fold the laundry and put it aside. These artists are showing internationally. Their work is being placed in collections and exhibitions across the globe. They are carrying them with themselves, a backbone of a rich history and culture that comes out of India. But then at the same time, they're able to articulate that through a lens of transnationalism, of being truly a global citizen,